the day will continue for some of these guardsmen because they have other work to do. And joining us is the author, royal commentator and Daily Mail writer, Robert Hardman. Robert, a warm welcome to you.
Thank you, Hugh.
What do you make of the parade today?
Well, I think it's as Ben was saying, there's great continuity here. I think today's is something of a breather in an extraordinary summer for the Queen. This is all very reassuringly familiar. There have been many extraordinary sights over the last few weeks, but now we have today and a week ahead, which is part of the. It's an anchor in the royal calendar. The Queen, as you say, she's attended all her birthday parades. Coming up next week, we have the gathering of all the Knights of the Garter at Windsor Castle on Monday, and then that leads into Royal Ascot. These are all events that she knows well and loves. So actually, while these are still very big events, they're somewhat stress-free, shall we say, compared to some of the things we've seen in the last few days and weeks.
One of the features of this year's Diamond Jubilee, of course, has been the prominence of the Queen's grandchildren in the official events, not just here in the UK, but throughout the Commonwealth. And they've been paying their own personal tributes to the Queen, and they've been sharing their stories and memories with us.
What the Queen's managed to do is she's managed to bring the monarchy into the 21st century as best as she can. She's not had a blueprint, she's not had anyone telling her this is how to do it. She's very much done it her own way. And from my point of view, I think that's just been hugely successful.
She's timeless. She is this figurehead that she's in touch with every generation just instinctively.
The world looks to her and follows her, and same as we do. I mean, we get actually the granny of her, but she's this person that for 60 years has been there for everyone, in wars, in terrorism and everything, and she's stood there and just taking it all in her stride.
Regardless of the time of day, wherever she turns up, she's still full of life, smiling, able to go into a room and bring the room to life. These are the things that at her age she shouldn't be doing, and yet she's carrying on and doing them, and not only in this country but all around the world.
The balance that she seems to get between her public role and actually the private role of being a mother, grandmother, great-grandmother, somehow she's figured that balance out pretty effectively.
She's a good person to be leading the family, and she does it from the front, and we all have massive respect for her and, you know, love her to bits.
She doesn't care for celebrity, and she really minds about, you know, having a privacy in general. It's a very tricky line to draw between private and public and duty, and I think she's carved her own way completely.
My grandmother is the Queen. It's the Queen first, then grandmother. In public, you know, that is your job, that is your public figure, that is the way that you behave, that is the way that you act, and that's how you carry yourself out, and she does that immaculately. Behind closed doors, she will always be my grandmother. Obviously, there are times when she's the Queen and she'll put her foot down, you know, and during the games, if she's losing, then she'll put out the Queen card.
Pulling out the Queen card, as related by Prince Harry, the view and the perspective of the grandchildren on the way that the Queen has fulfilled her duties over the past 60 years. So after this birthday parade today, the glass coach returning to Buckingham Palace, the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh. And a moment again to reflect after those voices, Robert Hardman, on the young royals and the way that they are managing to transform perceptions of the royal family.
Yes, they've really come into their own during this Jubilee. It's been a very demanding year for the Queen and the Duke, and it's been very helpful to have the young